Hey guys, you are tuning into Racers Paradise Media with Mike Murillo.
All right, we are here at Bounty Hunters 4 Invitational Race at Alamo City Motorplex in San Antonio, Texas. I've got a star of Street Outlaws here, Mike Murillo, in the house. We're going to be doing an interview with him today. All right, Mike, appreciate you taking the time, helping me out doing this. It's a pleasure to do this. We're going to start out, for some of the newer fans, try to figure out where are you from originally and where are you now residing?
I was born in Ohio. I was born in Dayton, Ohio, but I've been in San Antonio, Texas since 1984.
All right. And then, so, been in San Antonio for a good while now. Just for some more context, before Street Outlaws, what was the first class that you raced, and typically where did that, kind of go down at? Well,
actually, the first class that I raced in competitively, as far as like in a class, was called Street Outlaws, believe it or not, in 1994.
And that was that a
Fun Ford weekend? It was an all-Ford race, all-Ford venue. Our first race was in Houston, Texas.
Houston, Texas. All right, so can you explain the current setup you got on the engine and who is your engine builder, if you don't mind?
Sure. It's actually a new motor, but it's a big block Ford. We've always ran a big block Ford in this particular car, which is named the Fonda. This motor was put together by Kayla Morton and her father Stanley Morton, and we get a lot of our parts from Mr. Zabo, Roger Zabo, Keith Zabo's dad.
All right, so there's a few crews that kind of come together, a few out of state there. All right, so another thing I wanted to ask you was, with a few things with Texas Jam, what was the original idea with starting the shop? Was it just to kind of further the racing program, or was it just the love of working on cars?
To be honest with you, I was in business to feed my racing habit.
Okay.
I really didn't want to be in business. I really didn't enjoy working on anybody else's car. I was kind of just doing it so that we could continue our racing, and which had just started at the time. And so it was. I was in business so I could feed my racing habit, and I was racing so I could stay in business.
Racing so you could stay in business, folks. Okay, so kind of a cliche question here, but we got to ask it. If there is a favorite racetrack that you have, what is it and why?
Probably Las Vegas. I really enjoy going to Vegas. The air's not so great there. It's kind of funny that I like to go there because I blow my shit up every time.
High altitude, right?
Yeah, so you have the high altitude, but the really dry air. But Vegas, I want to say, just the overall environment, atmosphere, but Vegas is probably my favorite.
Big city. Gotcha. So another one, too, a few people have been wondering about. Me personally, I wanted to ask you, is there anyone that comes to mind, kind of putting you on the spot, that you would like to see come to No Prep that hasn't been, or someone that you would like to see that maybe has come once or twice that you want, to kind of come to the dark side?
Not really.
No one off top?
I feel like, not really. I feel like this says, the path has been paved with
Absolutely.
guys like Sean and Chief, kind of all started up there, and I think that, and I feel like I was one of them that kind of jumped on the bandwagon, but I also feel like I paid my dues.
Absolutely.
I feel like, now that there's a lot of money involved and obviously the TV, I feel like there's a lot of guys that used to talk shit about it, and now they're wanting to jump on the bandwagon. And so, no, the answer is no. If they're not already in it, I'm not really looking for anybody else to try to come and play either.
Okay, so me knowing you, real competitive side a little bit more, so wanted to get this one out the way too. Is there any team out there that impresses you that you kind of see sometimes at races and you just say, damn, like they do a good job, like they're a good team also, like us?
Several guys. I mean, I'm going to start with this. I mean, this is the most competitive racing I've ever been involved with. This was the biggest, best championship we've ever won.
Even more so than any of the 10-5?
Oh, absolutely. Now, there's some big races that we won that are compared, but, as far as the sacrifice of what we went through to get to this win of the NPK is nothing comes close to it.
Absolutely. So, we were actually about to transition into that. Kind of another one, I'm going to hit on it again, but we have to ask because, Discovery and Pilgrim have done a really good job of picking certain tracks. Did you have a particular spot this year that you thought was, your go-to spot or that you liked, that was fun?
Ennis, Texas.
Ennis, Texas. Okay, great answer.
Motorplex.
We were there on hand for that one, so
that's my favorite.
I would definitely agree there. The next thing would be, we got a lot of heavy hitters. We know that there are for lack of better words, 4 or 5 guys kind of sitting at the top right now, No Prep Kings. Is there any dark horse that you see, maybe season 3 kind of come out of left field?
With the way the rules are looking, I mean, Ryan, obviously Ryan is always going to be up there, always going to be in the midst, if not leading the pack. Megalodon. I mean, if that guy ever gets a budget to where he can follow all this stuff, we're all in deep shit. That guy is
out of Virginia, the Megalodon.
That guy's a heavy hitter. Vixen. Those guys are getting better and faster.
Yeah, the Bruder brothers.
Event they go to. Mad respect for them, but you know, Birdman, he's going to come back. He's going to get his shit together, and we're all in trouble again.
Well, we'll see. They've got it, you know.
I mean, you got Chucky. I mean, Chucky's always a tough. Look at Lutz. Lutz is fast as hell. So I mean, it's kind of a hard question to answer. But there's so many guys. There's no ducks in the business anymore.
No, understandably so. Okay, so I guess I don't want to say a loaded question here, but it's just some reality. We're seeing a lot more radial prep guys come to No Prep, as you already hit on. Do you feel that's because of the payouts, or do you feel that's more or less a pride issue?
It's a pride, fame, payouts, all the above. Pick one.
They see the payouts and they see the TV cameras and they want to come and they want to.
I think they also think it's easy.
Yeah.
You know, I honestly feel like the fact that we won it has really made other people think that it's easy to do now, and so it's not.
They will soon find out.
We'll soon find out.
Okay, and then another one. Obviously, it's a little odd question right now, but would you ever consider racing in a competitive prepped environment again?
I'm sure I would. Yeah, I'm sure I would.
If the time arose.
Radio, not interested. I have my opinions, which is just my opinion, but you know, that's a money sport. I mean, the big bucks win it. I mean, I'm not trying to be a dick about it, but
no, it's
just, you know, if you look at the teams and the ones that are winning and doing well, it's big money teams. No Prep, it's not so much like that. I mean, look, we're one of the lower budget teams. We went drag reel racing. We don't have the budget to run a drag reel park. I mean, can we be competitive? Yes, but can we burn our stuff every time we go out and be able to fix it? No.
Okay, and that is a harsh reality for a lot of people, but it's just the truth. Then I wanted to go over, we hit on the No Prep Kings already as far as getting to the end, but I wanted to ask you just, it's not an easy question to answer, but just kind of a brief recap. You started out the season, you stayed consistent, you had some issues that you knew what to do, that you were going to get fixed, and you said, I just need a little bit of time, and I'm going to be right there. Midway through the season, you started climbing up the standings, and we're right up into 5th, and then we're sitting there for the last 4 races.
So we were second place.
Right. So you had moved up even farther, and you closed the gaps to 25 before you had gone into Ennis. So basically, my question out of that is, how hard of a job was it, you and your crew, just trying to keep up, just for the people to know, with that demanding schedule and guys like Fireball up there running, passes like he was doing, with his, extensive history. He's got a lot of, he's a very quick guy. So, I mean, would you say it was not a drag, but it was a lot of work?
It was a lot of work, but,
for a lot of fun.
There was a grueling schedule, but absolutely had the time of my life. So it's the most work we've had to do. I had some great crew members. I had a kind of a home crew and a weight crew. So
right. Mike Espinoza was able to make the northern races with you.
It was such a hard schedule that it took a team to do it. I mean, there were so many other people involved.
And it was great to watch.
I was the captain of the ship, but there were so many other people on that ship that needed to make it work. But it was very tough, man. It was a lot of miles, a lot of time being away from home.
That's what we've heard from many different people, is just the traveling itself is probably what takes out more toll on your body, is just the driving and things like that. All right, so in some of the circles online, we've figured it out. We've called it the Gauntlet, is what you had to run that day in Ennis at the Motorplex. You went through Finney and Birdman, Daddy Dave, Jeff Lutz, Larry Larson, and the Bruder brothers and Vixen. And a lot of people have agreed that there's probably not a harder 5 that you're going to face in one particular day on any drag strip. With the extensive history through Drag Week, with Lutz, with just all of the knowledge there, you kicked ass, you came through. I mean, was that one of the most, kind of validating moments of your career?
Yeah. of surreal. I mean, it was going, everything was happening so fast. I mean, our crew, we had 45 minutes in between rounds. And so there was no time to sit back and...
That's barely enough time to cool the transmission.
I mean, it really is. And so it happened so fast, one after another, that it literally took me 2 weeks for it all to sink in. I just remember my son William kept drawing the names, and every time he'd draw a more difficult one, I was like, Jesus, son, you're killing me. And finally, he's like, basically, he said, suck it up. I mean, you're going to have to run these guys at some point or another, so I quit bitching him after he told me that.
There you go. And that was my next question, was kind of when the dust had settled that night and just the chaos, the adrenaline of that day, it finally kind of, you know, they pull this trailer out for you, you know, this brand new trailer Mike's got sitting here, Eat, Race, Die. That was one of the prizes for the season, guys. So they pull that out. You've got the trophy in one hand. You're kissing your wife, Lisa, in the other, and you've got William hanging onto his shoulder. And you're now a 15-time world champion. And granted, a lot of people don't know that 14-time was not something that you like to...
I got sick of
You're very humble man, and like you said, competitive. So you were wanting to move forward from that you know, plateau. So getting to that 15th, is that motivation for more? Or are we gonna?
You know, I don't know. I think that was part of my problem with the 2 years that it took me to figure this out, is that I was just happy to be there. To be honest, I had pretty much won every major race that I had competed in or that I wanted to win, that was important to me. And so I had a lot of, I've been there, done that before. And so I felt like I was in cruise control, and my son is what made the difference with that.
He gave you that extra boost.
Gave me that extra boost.
I think it was pretty evident, man.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's, you know, can I keep up that level of energy? I don't know, man. I'm 50 years old. You know, as long as my crew can keep up, I'll keep rolling with it, but it was difficult.
Well, understandably so. It was a long stretch, and like you said, it was a really long road, but very much a great payoff at the end. And I personally would like to say, as you know, as media and as a fan, it was a great journey watching you, and it you know, it kind of came out of nowhere. We had faith. We all knew that it was very possible with this car and with you behind it. You know, with you turning numbers and tuning and everything, anything's going to be able to be possible. It was a great experience, and I think all of Team Texas was in Ennis, Texas that day rooting for you. We had about 50 in the stands together.
You know, watching the videos on it gives me goosebumps, watching some of the personal videos that have come out, and you know, that's when you can really tell who's on your team, as you watch those videos and see who's standing behind the car. And you know, once again, there's so many people that have hung out there with us, even when we were struggling. And so, you know, you're always going to have fans that can jump on a bandwagon when it's doing well, but you know, there's several of my friends, including yourself, that have had faith in us even when we were struggling. So, you know, it's not unnoticed, let's put it that way.
Well, Mike, I've taken up too much of your time today. I appreciate it very much. It's an honor to get to talk with you after, first of all, let me congratulate you. You are Season 2 No Prep Kings champion.
Thank you, brother.
You are the top of the Street Outlaws world right now. Whether whoever wants to say different, they can come and line up right next to you. And we look forward to seeing you next season. And good luck this weekend. We are here at Alamo City Raceway, Alamo City Motorplex for Bounty Hunters 4. Mike's going to be going for big tires. He's going to be going for winning all the money. And we appreciate it, and thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.